Good morning, everyone. My name is Felix Drummond. As you can see, this is a brand new YouTube channel. On this channel, we will be discussing various subjects relating to British medals and military history. To get this channel started, I'll be making this video for some potential newcomers into medal collecting about what exactly you should collect. If you are starting to gain an interest in collecting medals, I would say the first thing you should think about is what will your collecting themes be. I will warn you, however, that deciding on what themes you should collect to is rarely a quick process. Based on my experiences alone, I've been collecting medals since 2023, and I wasn't able to permanently decide on what my themes will be until earlier this year with the help of some friends. So deciding on what theme or themes your collection should go by is rarely an easy or quick process, but it is a necessary step with collecting medals, and I would say in an ideal situation it should be the first step, but it often isn't. So hopefully this video will help you get an idea of what you should collect. When I started collecting medals, the first theme that I had was one of everything. So everything from when medals in the British Army, Navy and Air Force first began in around the late 1700s, all the way to the modern day. That was my first theme. And for those collectors who would rather collect medals for the sake of historical interest rather than the man behind the medal, this is actually a really good option for a theme, to be honest. But when it comes to actually researching the man behind the medal, which at the end of the day, that's what medal collecting is all about, it's not a very good option for me, to be honest, in my opinion. No offense to those who do want to. If you don't want to go into researching the man behind the medal, it's a very good option. But for most people who like researching the man behind the medal, it's probably not an ideal option because you're going to end up with so many medals from so many different units that it's going to be hard to keep track of. And also some of them, the First World War medals, they are by far the easiest to research. Meanwhile, something like let's say for an example, and the Afghanistan 1919 India General Service Medal, those are quite a bit harder to research than, say, something from the First World War. And the Second World War medals in particular, those are impossible to research when they're on their own, because those don't have their names on. In the future, we'll make entire videos dedicated to different periods of medals, so please be sure to tune in for those. I would say the best catalyst for a medal collecting theme would be something within your own family history, which may require you to do some digging into that before deciding a theme. But if there's some military within your family history, you can look out what unit that person was in, let's say, or maybe which battle they were involved in, and you can use that to create a theme out of. That's what I would do, to be honest. That's my personal favourite. But there are so many different themes you can collect. You can collect to various regiments or units, which would be great for helping you become an expert in said unit. You can collect to a particular battle, which would help you become an expert in the battle. You can collect to a particular ship in the Royal Navy, which will help you become an expert in that ship, etc. And you can collect to last names. That is also quite a good one. I personally don't, but it is a good one. You can also collect to gallantry, which it would be quite expensive, but it is an option. Officers is also a good one, second lieutenants or above. That will do another video on officers, so please stay tuned for that. But that is also a viable one. There are millions. There are really, well, not millions, but the possibilities are endless, almost. But in my opinion, I would say that there are 3 rules with deciding a medal collecting theme. The first rule, in my opinion, would be to not collect something so specific to the point where you wouldn't buy anything. For example, don't collect to platoon level, if you ask me. Some people probably do. I haven't never come across people who do, but I guarantee you there probably are. And that's perfectly fine. It's just going to be really hard to find stuff, so you'll have to be quite patient with it. But also, the second rule is, don't collect, like, something that is too vast. Don't collect, if you ask me, don't collect to several specific line regiments. That would probably end up with you showering with medals. If you want to collect a line regiment, I'd say only collect to 1, to be honest. That's how I see it. And the third rule is think about what speaks to you, basically. If you see a theme out there and you think, oh, I actually really like that, I might want to start collecting to it. Collect to it and see what you think. Like I said earlier, deciding on your theme is not a quick process, and there's often some trial and error in it. So if you see a particular theme that speaks to you, go for it. Try to collect to it. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But sooner or later, you will decide on a permanent theme. It might take some time. It might take even longer than me, but it does get done. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was helpful as well. If you want further information on not just this subject, but medals in general, specifically for the First World War, I would highly recommend Howard Williamson's book, The Great War Medal Collector's Companion. It's quite hard to find, and it is quite expensive, but it is a very important book for medal collectors. I didn't get it soon enough at all, but I'm really glad I do have it now. But yeah, I would definitely recommend that book, and I do hope this video has been helpful, and thanks for watching.